Okay, guys, here's my final video. I think I've done about 10, my gosh, this weekend. So, here's my final one. Probably won't be back for the rest of May. I really don't know. Maybe a couple of first impressions. I don't think I'll be doing any more. Well, I don't know. A lot of people have asked about the Tom Ford split, so I may do that one. Maybe do another round of that one. Um, maybe some massive one or something. Anyway, here's excuse me, my a review. This is actually a review, not a first impressions. This is actually a review for you guys. Um, and this one actually comes from the house of Creed. Um, yeah, I think New York Cent blog, uh, may have um, may have did this one actually. I don't know if anybody else has really touched this fragrance from a review perspective, at least no one that I'm familiar with. So anyway, this one does come from the House of Creed. It was created in 2000. It is considered an aromatic fougere. Um, and I can see that, I guess. I don't really get into the classifications a whole bunch. Um, but anyway, here's the notes. It was created 2000 again, aromatic fougere. The notes in the top you have ginger, mandarin orange, you have bergamot, and you have lemon. And in the heart you have sandalwood and vetiver. And in the base you have musk, tea, and tobacco. Now, I really think that note breakdown is a bit misleading. And the reason why is that this is a tobacco latent fragrance. I mean, it's not tobacco's not in the background. Tobacco's not in the base. Unless you're talking about the base starts, within the first 15 minutes of the fragrance. So let's see what you get. You first spray it, and you're gonna get this blast of mandarin orange, and then immediately coupled by this very natural bergamot um, citrus, right? Because the bergamot is there, then there's lemon in the top, and the lemon is just kind of giving it a little sharpness mixed with the bergamot, but the bergamot is the dominant citrus in the top, with like this very smooth mandarin, just kind of around the fragrance, and then about 5 minutes into it, immediate this ginger comes in, and this ginger is like ginger root. It is sharp, it is heavy, it is potent. So if you don't like ginger, you would need to avoid this fragrance. I will tell you now, if you're not a fan of ginger, it makes the ginger and like stuff like Loam look very, very, very weak. Now I don't know a lot of other ginger fragrances. I think there may have been ginger in Dear Own Sport, but this one is by far a very natural, very rich, very sharp ginger. Um, and it really dominates the top of this fragrance. I mean, you still get some sharpness from the citrus, but the ginger is actually combining with the citrus, and it's almost like a fizzy type of feel to it, almost like a pop, a soda type of fizziness. It's kind of a you know the you pour your soda and that fizz comes to the top. It's like that has that kind of a feel to it, and that's what happens in the top. And then in the heart, I mean, that goes on for about 15 minutes or so. And then you start getting hints of the tobacco during this 15-minute transition. And then the tobacco kicks in, and it's ginger, and it's tobacco. And that goes on for maybe, a good portion of the fragrance. As the fragrance begins to draw down, it kind of has that same typical that Creed's Millesime. There's multiple Millesimes within the Creed Millesime family, and it sort of has that in the background, and that's kind of that musky, almost ambergris type of scent, just kind of playing in the background. Quite muskish in the dry down, but not in a bad way. I mean, it's sort of the musk that you get in it's sort of the musk. It sort of feels like what you get in Silver Mountain water almost. If you think about the musk in there, it's the citrus musky tea, and what's very funny is this almost has some the base of this almost has some very similar characteristics of Silver Mountain water. I mean, actually throughout, it's because it has some tea in it, but it's in the background, but it has that Silver Mountain citrus in it, right? If you can think of that. But ginger and tobacco is added to it. Like they took Silver Mountain water and said, this works. Let's pour in some ginger and let's pour in some tobacco and see what we get. And Tabarome Millesime was born from it. So let's talk about longevity and projection. A lot of people complain about longevity and projection of creeds, and some of it does, some of it is funny acting, right? Millesime Imperial is definitely the worst of the bunch. Silver Mountain water gets me about 6 to 8 hours, just on my skin. If I spray it on my clothes, it lasts all day. Millesime Imperial, if I spray it on my clothes, it lasts all day, but gives me about 5 hours on my skin. Raw water has very good longevity and projection. Green Irish Tweed has very good longevity and projection. So, and so does and then Virgin Island water. Virgin Island water is about the same with Millesime Imperial. So anyway, the projection longevity on this is probably neck and neck for Green Irish Tweed with me. Probably, I would give it, out of 5, I would give this one about a 4.75 out of longevity if you want it all day. If you're looking for something to change, if you want to wear this to work and you want to change at the end of the day, this is a perfect fragrance. It will last you a work day. Now, let's talk about compliment factor. The compliment factor was pretty good. Every time I've worn it, I've been complimented. It just kind of has that Creed DNA, which is really, really, natural, very, mature, very classy. I just think it's a wonderful workplace scent. It's a wonderful date scent. It's a wonderful, you're going to go to, dinner with the family, dinner in a movie. You're going to, meet someone's parents for the first time. It just exudes class and maturity for me. So here, you want to say hi? Here, my littlest one wants to say hi. Say hi. Okay, now go. Go out there and shut my door, please. You good to go? Okay. So overall, let's start off. So here let me give you what I think about this fragrance. Um, the projection is above moderate, especially for what we call, especially for the creed, just the negativity or the negative perception of creed in the review, um, the fragrance review community. Um, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. It projects very well. Long ciliage or silage or however you want to pronounce it. I don't really know. I've been complimented walking past people. When someone comes into the room, they smell it. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it radiates out from it radiates from the skin and it keeps a trail behind you. Um, Compliment factor. I've been complimented every time I wore it. Um, I will tell you now, it's not a sexy fragrance. It's just a very classy, mature, um, more masculine fragrance. I think it may be labeled. Is it labeled a unisex? I don't know. That's a good question. Is it labeled a unisex? No, it is a man's fragrance, and I believe that it is the most male-dominated of all of the Millesimes. So, because that tobacco just kind of gives you that feel. It does have sort of a man, think of a 30s pub type of aroma, almost like Sherlock Holmes. When I spray this, Sherlock Holmes sort of comes to mind. So, but I mean, it's not old fashioned. It's not dated. I mean, it's still fair. It still smells very modern. Yet it has a maturity and an aura and a class about it that just kind of exudes. Just a mature man. I think an older man would love this, and I think I'm 34, and I really enjoy it, and I think someone maybe even younger could pull it off. But again, I wouldn't see anyone in college really reaching for this. I'm being honest. I just don't see a college person reaching for this unless he's going to go on an interview or he's meeting with some professors or something like that. I just don't think the demographic of a college age and who would surround him, his sphere of influence, would really be appeased by this fragrance. I just think it may go for a 25 and up type of guy. Not saying anybody can pull it off. I'm just telling you that's what I think. Definitely perfect for the workplace, for mature, growing. You climbing the corporate ladder. You're an educator. There's something in that vein. I think this would be a perfect fragrance. So what do I think? You get this very natural creed citrus in the top, immediately joined by ginger. 15 minutes into the fragrance, the tobacco joins the party. As it starts to draw down, a bit of the tea and a lot of the musk joins the party. And what you have is, and there's some sandalwood in there, but I don't give a lot. I think the sandalwood is maybe giving it a bit more of the creamy vibe with the ginger. So with the ginger, the tea, and the sandalwood maybe is making it, kind of giving it this real creamy aroma. So overall, I give this fragrance high marks. It is a high four, 4.5, 4.35. I think it does have a specific demographic. I think it has a specific, I think a certain type of person would want to try to reach for this fragrance. I would tell everyone to sample and to try it, but it is a love for me. It is a love. It goes in the love category. I would always keep it. This was full. You've seen I've worn it down. About 3 or 4 meals. I think I've worn this maybe 5 or 6 times. Actually, of all the creeds that I have, I've worn this one the most over the last few months. Um, so that's it. Creed Tabarome Millesime. Lovely fragrance, mature, masculine. Um, Date night. Not sexy, but date night signature work scent. It can work in a it can work. It's very universal. I think it can be poured off in any season. The tobacco kind of gives it a fall kind of feel. The ginger and the other fragrances kind of give it, and the other notes, ginger and citrus gives it sort of a spring feel. I think it could be poured off in the summer. I don't know about summer heat because it does have sort of a feel to it. But definitely, you're going somewhere in the summer, you're going to be inside, definitely can pull it off. Thank you guys for watching. This will be my last review for a little while, I think. God bless.